Thank you so much, Pastor Dan, for your invite. It's such an honor to be here. You know, I must say, God knows, God knows. But anyway, thank God that I'm here and we are here. We are doing this. It's a blessing. My name is Purity Achero, and I'm married to one lovely husband, Peter Achero, and God has blessed us with 5 children, and we bless the Lord. I am a pastor, I am a life coach, I am a mother, I am a wife, and I'm a faithful church member in PCG. So in a nutshell, that's who I am. Yes, very faithful. Mshirika kabisa. Awesome. And today's topic is quite interesting. Oh my, I have no idea why Pastor Dan had to do this to me, but the setup. It's a setup, but let's see what God has in store for us. I'm excited. I'm excited, having been at the forefront, being a pastor's wife and serving in the worship ministry as well. Quite a deal. Quite a deal. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning, and I'm sure that's why we are here. I remember your first session, Pastor Dan, when you began this. The first session you had, I kind of picked your words when you said your focus is so that people can heal, and so that teams can heal, and so that churches can heal, and so that ministries can be stable, and we do this for the glory of God. So I'm actually excited, been following through, and it's quite a deal. It's quite something very nice, something very thoughtful, because truth be told, we serve in church, but you can attest that there's pain that comes with it. And if we don't know how to be able to balance that, we might just miss heaven, which is not a very good thing. And the whole idea is for us to be able to serve God and God to minister to us. And after all is said and done, we make it to heaven. And that's my prayer too. And I'm actually very excited for of just being able to bring the worship part, the worship segment of the service on a bench, and just say, you know, guys, this is it. Let's face it. It's real. Let's deal with it. Let's untangle. I mean, untangling is my line, you know. That's what I do every day, like untangling. I'm even writing a book called Untangling.
Next time we'll have a bench. Don't worry.
Oh, lovely. Awesome. At least I got one. Mine, it's physical. It's a physical bench. Brought myself. Guys, thank you so much for joining in. Bring them questions, we will be able to answer. But before we get to that, I don't know for how long I'm supposed to be talking, but I'm sure I'm ready for you. 6 hours. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, it is Friday. It is Friday.
It's a bit scary, but it's okay. Let's see what happens. I think the main thing we might be able, how I want us to look at this, the entire thing of ministry and the pastor's wife and the worship team. I think there's a misunderstanding. I've just discovered, I realized, being a pastor's wife and having served in the worship team directly as their lead, I think there is a misunderstanding somewhere. And what I discovered is most worship team members, probably other church members, there's this notion out there that the pastor is the holy man from God, and the wife is the demon from hell. I don't know why.
I need some water.
I'm even wondering how that combination can actually work, because there's this honest and reverence that comes when the worship team is looking at the pastor, and there is this mazi, huyu mwingine ametokea heaven, huyu mwingine ametokea hell direct, like our pastor is the best, but the wife ndio mwaribia CV. I mean, this man of God is anointed. He's taking the entire world. But this wife, hata sijui aliyemwokota wapi. Sasa ona vitu wanafanya. And you will discover that God have mercy. Please pray for me, Pray for me for this session. Pray for me. It's not an easy one. I need grace. I need some people to hold my hand as I walk this journey. The Reverend
is there.
Amen. But I came to learn one thing, Pastor Dan, that the story of Abraham and the story of Hagar, the handmaid of Sarah. That story, when you read the entire story and follow the thought line, you will discover that Hagar was a very loyal servant up until Sarah allowed her access to her throne, to be able to share some privileges that she wouldn't have if Sarah would not have allowed. But when Hagar ascended that particular position, you will follow the story and you discover things started becoming rocky, and Hagar had to run away. But when she was in the wilderness, the angel of the Lord told her, "Hey, my friend, go back and submit." She was even given water, and it is very. I don't want. Go and read that scripture. You will discover that the angel of the Lord told Hagar, "Go back and submit. Even the water I have given you is not for you; it's for the baby that was crying. The water was provided for the baby, not for Hagar." And Hagar was told, "Go back and submit." Now, when the story is turned to Abraham, God is telling Abraham, "Listen to your wife." Now, it is the whole entire story. Look at this. This story by day liberated me. It liberated me, and it made me look at worship team and my role as the pastor's wife. This happened when I was still the lead worship leader, as in, okay, there, whatever, that particular, what you call in your church, but the leader of the worship team in our church. And I realized that these three people have roles. For the pastor's wife to fit in, to merge well with the worship team, and to avoid the friction that we always see, which is very unnecessary, and it's unfortunate that it happens. I discovered that the three people have roles: the worship team, the pastor's wife, and the pastor. They all have a role to make it easier. Because it's unfortunate, Pastor Dan, I have discovered that there are pastors out there who can even, the way they talk to their wives in front of the worship members or worship leaders, it's very sad. It's like it's kind of, you're nothing. There's nothing more value from you. As in, it's so kind of rude. And the worship team, since they have been given an opportunity, and hey, it's interesting that when I was leading the worship leaders, some of them could tell you, like, it is the pastor who told me should be done, because I got the directives from the pastor. So, am I back?
Yes.
Am I back? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I saw there was a disconnection. And I realized that it's easier for the disrespect to start coming through slowly, just because of what we see around happening or what we hear people say concerning us as now I'm talking in two capacity, as the pastor's wife and as a leader. Now that time I was a leader, and it's obvious. People, not every, it doesn't matter even if you have 20 people or you have 50 members or you have 5 members. I can assure you for free that even if you have 2 members, one of them is not loyal. So stop beating yourself and feeling like this and this. And I'm saying this, if you are in my capacity, like you are the pastor's wife and you happen to be the leader in that particular thing. But I think it's an encouragement to all the worship leaders, to other worship leaders who are not pastors, that just deal it with in your head that not everybody will be able to give you the same respect you expect them to give you. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody has met you in a different capacity. And it will be very difficult for them just to accord you the respect you want. Like for me, it was a challenge because most of the people had met me when we were in our former church. And that time I was you see the, how do I call it? The needy person. I'm sorry to use that word, but I lacked a lot. And I needed somebody to pay my rent. I needed somebody to buy my children food. I needed somebody to pay their school fees. I needed somebody to just give me airtime. Calling me was a trouble because you couldn't find me because we couldn't afford the airtime and stuff like that. And now we have been moved to another church. And the same person that has been paying for you, paying your rent, buying your food, and knows you as the down one person, there you're seated and saying, hey guys, straighten up, ni vocal coach sahi, ni vocal coach, fanya hivi, this is it. Naturally speaking, it just doesn't add up because they're like, what do you mean? I'm the one that calls the shot. I tell you when I'll send the cash. I'm the one that tells you when I will bring the food. I mean, I'll tell you when I'll do the shopping. So who are you again? Let's remind one another, like, who is the boss here again? And then you're like, no, in this capacity, I am the boss and you should sit your ass down and do the practice properly, get them voices nicely. Let's prepare for Sunday service. And then they're like, wait a minute. Okay, I don't think I'm in the mood to do that. Do you blame them? No, you don't blame them. It is a human nature. It is something that I had to learn. I had to learn quickly. Now, human beings have a way of rating you, and they have a way of carrying yourself, and they have a way of balancing you out. So the first thing I want to address probably is from the pastor's side, pastor's wife's side, who are not even singing in the worship team. You could be in that capacity. And most of the pastor's wives are there. I think I was just maybe lucky or unfortunate. He said that it's twofold. It's fortunate and unfortunate because I got both packages, the fortunate ones and the unfortunate ones that came with me being a pastor's wife and the leader as well. So I packed my package. I went with it home nicely. I unpacked and I dealt with it personally. I'm good. So probably you're a pastor's wife and you are not singing. You are just, you come and you just sit, you serve your husband at home, and that's it. That's where it ends. Like when you come to church, the church members don't see you anywhere. You're not like us. My husband found me in the Bible school, so telling me sit down, man, it's kind of difficult mathematics to calculate right there, because they found me in the Bible school, and the Bible school people don't go there to learn procurement. In Bible school, you don't sign in Bible school to learn sales. Neither do you sign in Bible school to learn law. You go to Bible school because you have a passion to be on the pulpit. And that's where he found me. So it's easier for him to allow me to go to the pulpit. But some of us, we don't even feel like being anywhere near the pulpit, and you are a pastor's wife. It is not bad. It is who you are. It is okay. So this is what I learned from that capacity, because I've also had an opportunities to sit down. As you've heard, I have 5 babies. So yeah, I had series of sitting down for longer period to try and nurture my babies to who they are right now. But while you're seated down there and you are just a pastor's wife, one thing you should remember, that you have a role. Your role cannot be, your seat as the pastor's wife, you cannot be impeached as the pastor's wife.
Okay.
Like, you're there to stay unless the pastor decides to divorce you. But like, your role as a pastor's wife, the board members cannot come to remove you there. It's just impossible. So the small insecurities that bombard the pastor's wife should leave you as a pastor's wife by knowing that I'm here to stay in my position. I cannot be voted in or voted out. I am in, and if I decided with my head I'm in to stay, I'm here to stay. And since I'm still married to this man is not changing career any soon. He is here to stay. But this vision, as much as it needs the pastor, it also needs other people to be able to do it in a balanced way. Because even if you're like me, when we started, my husband used to play the keyboard. We arrive, he leads the prayer. After prayer, he plays the keyboard. I lead worship. I finish leading worship. I do the service leading. I finish leading. I welcome him. He comes and preach. He finished preaching. He welcomes me to close the service. And then we close the service. So next Sunday, since he's preached this Sunday, now next Sunday is my turn. So next Sunday he comes, I pray, since I'm the one preaching, I pray, I lead the prayer service, I finish the prayer service. He's the one leading the worship, but he has to play keyboard because I don't know how to play keyboard. And then he does the service leading, and then I preach, and then he comes back to pray. Now, even if you are multi-talented like we are, and we are able to do that, I have discovered in the last 6 years, we cannot do it forever. You will need people. So before you start beating those God has given you, one thing you have to learn, that you will need people for you to be able to progress. And another thing you need to remind yourself as a pastor's wife, the people that are coming to help your husband to push the ministry up, they are not coming to take your position. They are not coming to be Mrs. Pastor number 2, Mrs. Pastor number 3, Mrs. Pastor number 4. So you should stay safe and guard yourself. How do you do that as a pastor's wife? First of all, you need to declutter your mind, because some of us grew up, and I discovered it really disturbed me. It really disturbed me a lot. By the first year of our church in Gimo, I was diagnosed with a problem around my heart. My nerves were expanding around my heart. You see the way the heart is drawn. There are these nerves, they look like roots. They hug the heart. Those nerves were expanding. And when I was admitted in hospital, the doctor came and looked at my file and asked me, you are either two things, you're either a pastor or a lawyer. And I asked why, because these are the people I treat who have these issues. Pastors and lawyers, because they tend to carry people on their shoulder. And then I told the doctor, I'm a pastor. I said, yeah, my friend, I don't go to church, but there is one thing I learned in Sunday school, that Christ died for the church. So stop killing yourself, because even your death will not save anybody. So as a pastor's wife, trust me, this I came to peace with it. And the day I came back to church, I announced to my church, and I told them by the day, I'm not going anywhere. I cannot afford to die so that you do a mega wedding for my husband. And it will be Shamra Shamra. And I'm gone. Impossible. This is not happening. Hey! God
we need some water.
So, pastor's wife, trust me, with your coiling and feeling jello and feeling, I don't like this one, I don't like this one, I don't like the way she comes too close to my husband, I don't like the way she talks long hours with my husband. Remember this, if your man, you cannot trust your man, I wonder if God trusts him anyway. But please, make peace with yourself. as a pastor's wife, declutter your mind, declutter your head, declutter your heart. By the way, make a deliberate decision by yourself. Don't go for you what, do it yourself. Sit down with yourself and tell yourself, hey, I signed into this. Maybe you got married to a man of God like me, and you didn't know that is where he's gonna end. Me, I knew my husband. He's a good musician. He could sing. We could dance. I mean, he akishika microphone tunakuisha sisi wote. And I know, since I love singing, this is it. I didn't know pastoral is on the way coming. Then it landed at my doorstep. I had to sit down with myself and deal with it. Deal with the fact that the lowest he can go is the pastor, that the position of pastoral that he has landed. Hakuna hiyo ingine chini ya hapo, upasta ya chini ya upasta yenye yuko. So you just have to accept that he has. By the way, the more you argue, the next time you hear any reverend, you continue arguing again, you discover he's becoming a bishop. You argue again, he's now the archbishop. You argue again, he's now the top guy. And you're still there folding your hand and telling yourself, people should be able to know how to relate with my husband. Trust me, get it from me, free of charge. This one at CDPA. Things will never change. The higher he goes, the more he attracts. And he will attract these nice worship team members. These nice, beautiful ones. Created very well. The ones that God created on a Monday after a weekend. And after, just immediately after lunch. And they have very nice voice, not only while singing, but while talking as well. And they talk well, better than you. Pastor's wife, sober up. They are coming. This one, my bishop drove all the way from Donholm, and he came and called me. It was on a Tuesday, I will never forget. And called me and told me, now we have launched the church. Now wait. Beautiful women are coming. Very, very beautiful. So if you don't work on yourself, you will hurt church members. Wacha nikwambie mke wa mchungaji. Please, make peace with yourself. Go back in your past and find out where the insecurity is coming from. Then deal with it. Then make peace with yourself that you're going to support your husband 100%. Because if you don't support your husband and he's craving for that support, that's why he will actually appreciate any other person that comes to help. And he will move on. And atabaki zile za deal. Chura akipiga kelele, ng'ombe anaendelea kukunywa maji. And trust me, that is not what you will want to turn your home into. Because he will move on. Interestingly, he will move on. By the way, he will not stop preaching because you're not happy. He will not stop giving opportunities to people in church because you're not happy. So just start dealing with yourself and read the Bible. Start forgiving and move on. It will give you peace. It will give you happiness as a pastor's wife. And then grow yourself to a level where you can have the capacity of helping another person to be able to become better than you and be comfortable with it. Somebody has a gift. Somebody has a talent. I mean, this girl can sing or this boy can sing. Okay, most of the pastors' wives, they are never disturbed with boys on the worship team. The boys are always safe. In fact, anakuanga kijana yangu. Oh, kijana yangu, oh my boy. Oh my boy. Oh my boy. Oh my boy, do you have lunch today? God bless you. I'll send you a pizza. Give me your number. Oh, wait. Leta kibeti yangu. How long? No. But the girls, oh no. Oh no. Hata kama akuja amwambie, I'm in this need, I have this. It's okay, let's pray. And then they pray and they leave. That's it. It ends there. Especially if they have been coming so close. They have been coming so close. Closer than they should be with the pastor. Hata sitaomba nitatuma kwa elder. Not me, but
it's too hot.
Oh my gosh. They will send you to a church elder. worship leader, worship team member out there. May God have mercy. And may God please be praying for us. This as a pastor's wife, be praying for us. We don't want to hate anybody, but sometimes I don't know what happened. Yes, you want to say something, Pastor?
We need to breathe.
Yes.
Can we breathe?
Yes, we do.
And take some water.
We do need to breathe. It's
for 5 seconds.
Please. I also need to take my water. Yes, we need to breathe. I will appreciate a breather.
Well, hey, people of God, are you still here? Let's breathe for 5 seconds, because this one is too hot. But then if you have questions, post the questions right there. If you have questions, post them. Yeah. This one is too hot. We need to dance for 5 seconds. The enemy does not have power against our lives. Shall not prevail. Shall not prevail. No, we are back. No weapon formed against us. As pastor's wife shall prosper.
Yes.
Yes. Go deeper. We have taken water, but my water has not yet come. I'm praying.
At least I got the break and I took the water. Thank you so much for that break. I really needed the break.
All right.
So I was talking to the pastor's wife. I am coming to the worship team in a few. I was talking to the pastor's wife. Number one, declutter. I'm just recapping what I told you. Declutter. And purpose, by the way, to declutter your heart, your mind, and your thinking capacity. Like declutter everything concerning you. And also you have to go back and declutter the thought pattern of the ministry. You know, we grew up in the religion setup, and there are things we were told concerning being a pastor's wife, and this is blah blah stuff like that. And we came with it, and now you are in that position and you try to exercise it, and it doesn't work on the millennials. By the way, it doesn't work on the millennials. It backfires, and they kind of look at you like, hey, Mazewe, where's the you? They can't even share their issues with you. They can't share their problems with you. They can't really see that you're not fighting them. So your retaliation turns out to be like it's a battle, and then they build a wall, and then they start fighting back. And then now it turns into an ISIS. Unasikianga tu malbom zinalipukia huko shwa shwa. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can actually adopt. You don't have to change who you are at all, not for anybody. Changing me, it's difficult for me to like just living who I am, who God created me to be is not an easy thing, but trying to move with that in the millennial era. Another thing we need to do, because these guys, the millennial, because right now in the generation we are in the millennial generation. So pastors' wives start dealing. These are people who want to invite you in their sessions. They want to relate with you. They want to deal with you. But man, even your dressing it gives somebody a fever. They meet you and they are like, wow, we apologize. How did we even think that you? Oh my gosh, Pastor Dana, I'm treading carefully there. Hey, mercy, Lord. Mercy, have mercy, Lord. God defend me today.
Okay.
But you know what? Pastor Dan, look at it this way, and any of and all the viewers, let's create this picture. Eh? I'm trying to make my voice be heard. Yet I don't believe in. I want girls in church. I want girls in church to like be instructed by me concerning something. Let's take an example. What maybe beauty, or I want them to be hygienically okay and everything fine. And then here I am. I'm complaining that they are always doing that. They are always against me. But when unaona vile hii picha ya Pastor Dan na mimi inakaa hapa, when you put yourself here as the pastor's wife and you put those girls here, man, even if you are to be rate, hata ukileta kipofu afanye rating, they won't even give you a 10. It uko down maze, uko down azili, uko down.
What? Okay.
Hey, Maze, I don't know how to say it. Why? I'm trying to get a simpler word. But pastor's wife, when somebody walks in your church, before they meet the pastor, they will see you, and seeing you will define who the pastor is before they even meet the pastor. So you showing up with the clothes you are, I don't know, my goodness, I'm trying to be as gentle as I can. Oh my gosh, this is the point I usually
go forensic.
Hey, but truth be told, pastor's wife, you will never get any respect from anyone, leave alone the worship team. If you show up in church as if you have just woken up, you show up in church as if you have you have never seen something called powder on the market. You have never seen something called lotion just to apply on your face. I mean, your clothes are, oh God. I'm not talking about fashion. I'm talking about style. Because fashion change, but style doesn't. So my question would be to a pastor's wife, what's your style? And before you start complaining to people about your husband who has stopped caring about you, and now he cares more about the church girls who are in the worship team because they sing well, my question would be, are you sure about that? Are you sure it's because they sing well, that's why your pastor is much focusing on them? I doubt. And ask yourself a few questions. Look yourself in the mirror. I am a life coach, and when I'm doing imaging and image consultancy, I usually tell people, buy a long mirror and sit with it down and look yourself in the mirror well and do a self-analysis test and find out, is this what I want people to see out there? Because if you don't package yourself well, you will earn no one's respect. Go and read Job, the book of Job. The book of Job says this. Here we go. Job had respect when he was okay, but when he became sick, he lacked respect from people. It's just normal. And these girls will start respecting you, pastor's wife, if you start respecting yourself and put yourself in that position, where God has put you, as far as appearance is concerned. Now, another thing, and then I'll be done with the worship team unless I'll be done with the pastor's wife unless somebody asks a question. Another thing that I see is killing as pastor's wife is our mouth. Our mouth is a killer. We kinda become insensitive, rather, maybe just being insensitive, or we just don't care about the effort that somebody is putting in. Somebody has worked very hard. Now that has nothing to do with the service or the closeness they have now. That is aside. Now we are on the pulpit. This person is talented. This servant of God is talented. They're doing everything they can, but you are not encouraging them. All you do is just discourage them, and you never notice anything nice they do. Instead, you always notice the bad things they do, the failures they have. That is what you always focus on. And you make their life so difficult to an extent they can't even be themselves. A pastor's wife, I want you to understand, these people, as they are serving you, they are serving God in your church, they also can be able to do other things outside there. These people are invited in gigs, they are invited in wherever, they're invited in different other things to support themselves or just to grow themselves. Because how many times do they sing in church? They sing maybe once on a Sunday, or maybe twice if there's a midweek service. But what happens to their life outside church? This is a gift they have, and if you don't sharpen your gift, it dies. Truth be told, it dies. So you need to encourage them. If you see an opening, encourage them to go. But that one, we will also discuss it on the worship team section. That's why I wanted to commit to that as we cross over to the worship team. Now, pastor's wife, please, just know you're dealing with human beings as you are human. The same way you are hurting, probably they might be hurting even double. They might be hurting even more. And they might just be hanging on a thread and cursing you in their sleep, cursing you on their knees, and cursing you and saying, that woman, hi God, that woman, hey, may thunder just cut her bedroom into two until she realizes how we usually feel. But that's aside. Worship team members, worship team, my buddies. I have served in worship team for a very long time, and it's my passion. It is it's my calling, rather. It's just a burden I have, and I just love singing, and I love worshiping the Lord, and I love worship team members. That's why I never see it as I never saw it as a burden when I was given that responsibility before we raised people to be able to help us carry that mandate in our church. But there is always a misunderstanding that is there, and we don't see the need of incorporating our mummies in let me call them mummies in our service in church. And that's when I bring back the story of Haggai and Sarah. It's difficult for you to progress on that pulpit if you are not in good terms with leave alone your spiritual cover, with your spiritual mother. Because imagine this woman, as tough as it sounds, imagine this is the same woman that God is telling the man that you are looking at and saying his word is final. God tells this man that if your wife is not happy with you, your prayers, leave alone your prophecy, your prayers will not even have anything to do with it. I won't even listen. So worship team member, just picture yourself in this. Huh? You have ukona makasiriko with your pastor's wife. Huh? Now the pastor's wife akona makasiriko with the pastor. And the pastor is praying for you. Hey, how is that prayer even going? Interesting though. But I just want to tell you, leave makasiriko kando, leave everything any other thing kando. Just focus on God, focus on your call, make peace with this woman. If you believe that that is the place that you are called to serve, just make her your friend. Make her your friend. She doesn't have to approve everything you do. You don't have to approve everything you do. But as far as the peace of the heart is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like her being your girlfriend and you hanging out and being in all her parties and you the same. No. It doesn't have to come to that. You might not even like her at all, because for me, I learned that not everybody will like you. Oh, trust me, they will not. Not everybody will like you. So you deal with that, you accept that, and you move on. So what you need to do to yourself as a worship leader, just make sure you have peace, that every time you kneel down to pray, there is no kinyongo in your heart. There is no pain in your heart. There's nothing that is running concerning your pastor's wife in your heart as you pray, as you serve. Make sure your heart is free. And you're also doing that so that at her end, the same is happening. Because you wouldn't want to serve and somebody is looking at you from down there and they're like, your days are numbered. Up there, your days are numbered. Your days are seriously numbered. And every Sunday they come and they always prophesy in their hearts that your days are numbered. Trust me, they will be numbered and you will be vacated before your time comes. So you don't want to be having such prophecies. You want to minister in an environment where somebody is saying, Lord, thank you for this girl. Lord, thank you for this soul. Thank you for sending me this girl. You want to minister in that environment. And this happens because most of the time we usually want to prove a point. And being a worship leader is a very delicate thing because the same way the pastor hears God, you do also hear God. And sometimes you're given an opportunity to minister and you prayed. Si Mungu ndiye alikupea song list. Even what Mungu alinipea song list, gave me this direction. I came up with this theme. It came from God. I heard from the Spirit, and this is what God told me to do. So this is what I'm going to do. So you come and you find that maybe your pastor's wife is, like most churches I see, most pastors' wives, if they are not in the worship team, most of them, they serve in administrative offices, or they serve in other parts of other ministries of health or something, so that they make sure that the service runs well. Hey, women ministry, yes. So you find that by the time you come as a worship leader and the pastor has mandated the pastor's wife to be able to give a few directives of the service that particular day. And you come and they say, okay, before you do worship, we will do this and this, and in the middle, we will do this, and maybe before you finish, we will do this. And then you go like, no, I heard from the Lord. This is the direction. And then he tells you, okay, so since you said no, now let's exercise authority. So who is powerful here? So whose word are we going to ride with? So you force your pastor's wife to stamp her authority, and it will rub on you badly. And then you go away and say, she hates me. She hates me badly. She doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. She. My goodness, Lord have mercy on me today. But
when you need a break, just say.
Just remember, I learned this, worship team members, it costs nothing to submit, even if you don't like the person. And at that point of not liking, it also comes to a point where, are you not liking this person because they are making you, every time they're in your space, they create chaos? Because there are people, when you're in their space, man, forget about peace. Like the moment you enter their space, just drop peace in the dustbin, because it won't survive in their space. Your peace will be strangled. They will destroy every peaceful moment you walked in with. So ask yourself, is it because they usually destroy my peace? What is it that they destroy concerning me? Or is it about something I heard about them? Like, the rumor spread, like, that woman is evil. Hey, that woman is evil. Tumekuona church last Sunday. We saw you hugging her and laughing with her. Hey, you care for your heart. Run now. Run before it rains. Run. She will hurt you until you will not even be able to collect yourself. Sadly enough, it is not neighbors who come to say that. It is church members. It is team members. That's why I'm emphasizing to you, worship team member. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself, why don't I like her, or why don't I appreciate her in my space? Is it because of what I've heard? Is it because of what I've seen her do to people? Or is it something that she has done to me? And if it is something that she has done to you, then the approach is different from just a rumor that you heard from other people. Because I've experienced people, they start relating with me, and then they go like, okay, it's not sijaona the real person I was told you are. And then, of course, human beings, you're always curious. You go like, oh, so what were you told I am? And they give you the list, man. You feel like telling them what I do, what I can. But it's human nature. People will talk about you. People will spread about the people you meet. You tell them, oh, I met so and so. And then they go like, oh, really? I know them. Oh, how do you know them? They did this. And I don't know why we usually bring the negative. We never bring the positive. We bring the negative. So when did you join this church? I joined this church the year, blah, 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 blah. So how has been the experience? Fine. Apart from the pastor's wife, everything else is fine.
Apart from the pastor's wife.
Yeah, apart from the pastor's wife, everything else is fine. So they
Wow.
go like, what is wrong with the pastor's wife? Let me leave you, you find it out for yourself. Taki kufanya moshene na taki nikae ama gossip. I don't want to gossip and I don't want to get in your space. Just find out for yourself. You will experience it and then we can talk then. And then they come back like, my pastor's wife lashed on me. And it's like, oh, really? What happened? Oh, I just said this and then they said this and she took offense and it became a big deal. And then they go like, welcome to the club. This is our bread and butter every day. When was that? Midweek service. You've not met her during Sunday service. Welcome to the club. Don't worry, we are here for you. We will cushion you. We will cushion you. We will cushion you. It is well. What are you doing? As a team member, you are breaking the thread. You are destroying the longevity of this team because you've sown seeds of discord. It looks soothing. It sounds energizing. It sounds nice and comfortable in the moment. But what you are doing, you are sowing seeds of discord. And the same seeds you sow, somebody else will sow for you on your behalf. Where you will be in a capacity of leadership, somebody else will do the same. Now, as a team member, you need to remember that your pastor's wife, we never receive forms. We never receive forms to sign in of how to become a pastor's wife. In fact, there's no manual. There's no manual. You know, the way you go for, you enroll for worship experience, you enroll for music ministry, you enroll for pastoral ministry, you enroll for what else? All the departments in church, they always have classes. Even as a young believer, you will have a class to sit down and be taught how to be a believer. There is no pastor's wife that sits down and be taught how to be a pastor's wife of that particular congregation. You will hear, we hear a lot of encouragements here and there, but do you know what? There is no specific manual that a pastor's wife gets to be able to, like, just to teach you and to become a mother. I've told you I have five children. Those are 4 boys and 1 girl. Now, in my house, I'm trying to be a mother to 5 human beings. And then one day I close my eyes, I open my eyes, and I'm being told you are a mother of 30 people, 50, before I know it's 100, before it's 500, before I've even absorbed that shock, it's 1,000. Before I sit properly, it's 2,000, 10,000. Now you're there, you are a mother of 1 million people. Sit there and every eye is on you. Worship team member, there's real pressure on that seat. There's real live pressure on that seat. Every morning you wake up, it's not just on Sunday morning and or midweek service, but the pressure is real because this pastor does not stop being a pastor on Sunday. He is a pastor throughout the week. That means he is reaching out throughout the week. And the worship team is alive and the ministry continues throughout the week. So before you make the harsh judgment, And the name tags, which we know, by the way, as pastors, we know. Mimi najua kwangu naitwanga nini. I know, I was given by the worship members. I know they're here. I'm not sure they know I know. Oh my goodness. That particular, living in that particular space can create pressure on its own. And that's why I began with the pastor's wife. And I was telling the pastor's wife, deal with things in your life from the past that can trigger uncomfortable relationship right now. If you deal with things in the past and learn how to handle things one by one, then it becomes easier. And also, pastor's wife, this will help you when you're dealing with the worship team. You will start dealing with the individuals. You start creating relationships so that you deal with the individuals and you don't go public. Oh, I had when I was the leader during my my time. Right now we have a very beautiful songbird called Precious Effie. Abyss, fire, bonfire, fire. Hey, fire. That girl is on fire, my friend. She's the one that I handed over to. But before then, when we just began, that is the first year. The fire, the zeal of working, and I'm the pastor's wife, I'm in charge, you know, like this thing have to go well, this has to work well, and then you call for practice and they don't show up. My friend, they can tell you, they could chew fire. They could like feel like when I'm speaking, I'm not I am sending a WhatsApp message on WhatsApp. They could pick the words and chew. They could see me, and I felt this is it. Lazima wamenisikia, wasikuje kunibeba hapa, unajua kwendangi hivyo. Practice tutakuja na tutaimba, hakutafanyika hapo hivyo. Hii ni kazi ya Mungu na hii kazi ya mtu. Kama ofisi unaweza fika mapema, church unakujaje late na wewe ni Mkristo. And I was feeling like, yes, I need to rub that in. Not just as a leader, but as the pastor's wife and as a pastor. So get it straight. Then I discovered I'm dealing with human beings. I'm dealing with people with feelings, people who cry at night, people who have issues, people who are supposed to lead the service in the morning and they have a sick baby the entire night. And this person is torn between emotions. This is my baby, and this probably is a woman, and the husband is telling this woman, na usikuje kuniambia hapa vitu ati unarauka kanisani na mtoto anabaki mgonjwa, kanisa mpaka saa ngapi? And then they come to church and they meet me. I am ready. So I give you a service to lead and you decide to show up late. And then they go like, Mom, you know, I had a, no, wait. Decide. Do you want to serve God or do you want to serve your own issues? Because if you want to bring me a baggage, I don't have time to carry it. So we will do this way. They will fear you. They will fear you, they will respect you, but they will not serve with you. So if you are in that capacity as the pastor's wife and you have been given the grace to be able to lead or oversee or even just see how the things are running, remember, you are dealing with human beings who lose jobs sometimes. This person, yes, they didn't refuse when you gave them a service, but they just lost a job. They lose loved ones. They just lost somebody. They want somebody to pat their back, to care for them. But the only thing they're hearing from you, choose. Choose. What do you want to do? Choose. Mpaka wamemaster sauti yako. Choose. Wanajua. Wakisikia cartoon kakichange wanajua ni wapi direction inajua. So unapata either anatoa simu kwa masikio ama ana switch off. If they are standing right before you, they just go like, you know what? Yappy, once you are done, I'll walk out of your office, but trust me, I'm not even sorry. So the thing that you would have taken them through to make sure that they see it's a mistake, They walk away, sasa wamemea pembe. They're like, you know what? And you know what that is happening? They are not the ones destroying the worship team. You are the one destroying the worship team because they are looking at you and now they start ganging against you. Pastor's wife, women's meeting, they all fall sick. Or they all travel to a country. I'm not available. I'm sorry, I won't be available. I'm sorry, I am. Hey, don't joke with worship members. Woman of God, pastor's wife, don't joke with those people. They are the best species you can relate with, but you don't want to cross their line. And the worship team member, don't joke with the pastor's wife. She's the best person you can have, but you don't want to cross her line. So since both of you know your line, everybody stay in your lane and let the work of God continue peacefully. Now, allow me to take a break. Is it possible? Yes. We take a break?
We take a break.